Leagues like the NFL recognizing that youth sports has created a pipeline to lure more fans and increase community engagement. Can you even call this a rivalry when one team hasn't even lost in the series? Maryland is 27-0.
Hawkeyes have had to work hard on offense, grinding it out every possession. While Maryland has found some rhythm on offense, we'll see who can close it out in the second half.
Those are just some of the supplies being donated here at the Stuff the Bus Summer Palooza. This means that the new pay-to-play model is forcing athletes to be squeezed out of opportunities. And for those who can't afford it, there are hidden costs, among them a pressure to perform.
Growing up, going to Wisconsin games, now going to Maryland, now being on this field, Camp Randall Stadium. But anyway, Maryland, Wisconsin, Big Ten Conference opener.
A runner with an Instagram account, but also a plan.
I could get people's attention if I told them I was running a mile for every day the government was shut down.
Rob Perez is a government contractor in D.C. who runs
integrating running and training
a lot.
I ended up doing over 450 miles in the month of October.
During the government shutdown, the Marine veteran stepped up his Instagram presence, running a mile for each day of the shutdown until day 29 to make people aware of how grueling it is and to share civics lessons along the way.
No side of the media have done anything to actually make anyone feel better other than saying it's their fault or it's their fault.
So it was his job to
allow people to have some just like level-headedness, no emotional deregulation, and get a better understanding of like the function and dysfunction of our government.
Perez wasn't furloughed, so how did he make this work? Rob would wake up at 5 a.m. after 4 to 5 hours of sleep and edit the video from the day before and research a topic for the new day, then run 5 to 10 miles or so before running to his 9 to 5 job. Then he would run home, eat, and run some more before getting home close to 11 p.m. Then after doing some laundry and cleaning, it was straight to bed at around midnight. And his motivation? His fellow government workers.
Government workers do the most for our country, and they affect people's lives every day, and they're also the most restricted.
And the challenge served as a metaphor for the situation. Each day got tougher for Perez, but even tougher for the furloughed workers who didn't know when they would return to work.
Every day that they had to go about their lives and know that tomorrow only gets a little harder until the government reopens, and it's out of their control.
With the shutdown ending, Perez plans to finally see his friends and run even more. From Washington, D.C., Benji Kaufman, CNS TV. A robot dog.
We're actually trying to make it like a medic friend and a medic assistant.
Researchers at the University of Maryland are teaming up to use robots to help medics in emergencies. And over the last 2 years, Spot the Dog has been turning into a first responder to assess patients and help out medics in any kind of situation with casualties.
It's not meant to replace first responders, it's more of a tool to help them save more lives.
In crisis situations, Spot the Dog approaches victims to take vital signs and report back to medics.
And then based on the information that the casualties will give, it might ask follow-up questions, or it might inform them that at this point they need to stay calm and the medics will arrive shortly to assess them.
Spot can detect breathing patterns and tell if someone is bleeding. Helpful, but not perfect. Medics say Spot needs to report the information more urgently, letting first responders know
that they're going to expire soon or not, and prioritize casualties and inform the medics.
Another challenge, seeing a robot approach can be intimidating, but researchers say a dog moving slowly and asking simple questions actually helps build trust.
As robots become more common in our world, more and more people would be accepting them as normal.
And with more testing and simulations, the same trust can grow with medics. From College Park, Benji Kaufman reporting for CNS TV.
I feel like it brings people together, and it's also a really cool skill too.
And not just a physical skill that helps sharpen their athleticism,
you just gotta get out there,
but a social tool and even
when I go to soccer, it just relieves everything.
An outlet for mental wellness.
A nice safe place for kids to learn sportsmanship, teamwork.
Two fundamentals most would agree are the foundation for youth sports. But more and more, those fundamentals are being challenged by new goals. Goals that are changing how kids, parents, coaches, and even businesses are looking at youth sports. There's a lot to cash in on, and the cost might be at the expense of young athletes themselves. The amount of money families spend on youth sports has climbed 46% over the last 5 years, averaging $1,000 now. This means that the new pay-to-play model is forcing athletes to be squeezed out of opportunities. And for those who can't afford it, there are hidden costs, among them a pressure to perform.
There's a sense of there needs to be return on my investment.
Tim Herzog is a sports psychologist. Coaches say he's not wrong.
General expectation that all this investment, all this time that went into competing at a youth level pay out in some way down the line.
Kaylee Sullivan coaches college and girls club soccer. She warns parents pay-to-play puts unfair pressure on kids who might not have what it takes. She says parents need to be realistic and have real conversations with their kids.
Are you actually in your real life willing to commit to doing those things? Because if not, it's not really a conversation. It's a wish, not a want.
A wish one sports psychologist says can hook kids too easily.
Kids can get drawn into fantasy that is really only a reality for a very, very select few.
But for kids who are driven,
I think that I can do hard things and I can overcome.
They and their parents are doubling down.
There's definitely like an extra level of pressure to achieve.
And that pressure starts building at an early age.
When did you first start thinking about playing in college being a real possibility?
Like 8th grade or freshman year.
This kind of player determination and parental drive put added responsibilities on coaches who once were primarily focused on their players.
It's more important to coach the parents than it is to coach the players. I'm setting the tone and expectations for what is expected of them.
And reminding parents a common red flag is when they are more involved than their kids.
If you are the one making the highlight reel, it might be an indication that this is not actually your player driving the process.
Regardless, parents today feel driven to cash in.
More kids and families going towards specific sports where they think NIL opportunities are going to be more wealthy for them.
Youth sports is a money-making machine.
Cranking out an annual revenue of roughly $15 billion in 2017, jumping to $37 billion in 2022, and expecting to soar to $70 billion in 2030.
It was only a matter of time before people began to also see opportunity in youth sport.
Parents and players aren't the only ones to see this opportunity. Professional leagues are seeing it too. Leagues like the NFL recognizing that youth sports has created a pipeline to lure more fans and increase community engagement, especially with flag football.
There's a lot of people that still think it's not a true sport, and they're learning very quickly that it's going to take over.
Girls flag football grew by 60% in 2025.
Girls are getting more attention. This is exciting.
Nearly 1,000 more schools began sponsoring flag football last year, including over 90 from Maryland.
The fact that I took a chance on it and it grew into what it did is one of my most amazing memories, I think, of high school.
That is what coaches hope will prevail, memories over money. But already they are seeing moneymakers like basketball, football, and volleyball choke out sports that were once considered staples, like baseball, lacrosse, and wrestling. Which brings us back to the question, is this trending focus of money-making behind youth sports ultimately creating bigger losses than gains?
Meaning, let's not treat kids as mini adults and like that they're pro athletes.
Just make sure they're having fun. This might not be forever, so let them enjoy the moment.
When people are present moment with the process, that's when positive outcomes happen anyways. That's when you're more likely to win more games. The more the emphasis is on scoreboards and records as opposed to skill development, then we're going in the wrong direction.
Feed the love for the game, enjoy the game genuinely, and yeah, remember that it's just a sport.
Benji Kaufman, CNS TV.